Hey everyone, I know this is kind of an unconventional video here, but I just had the craziest experience that I wanted to share with you. I'm leaving a client's office right now, and it's a weird mix of events that have occurred that I just have to share with you. So, I've been going through and upgrading my clients to faster internet connectivity, and this one I was upgrading to Fios recently. And throughout the process, I wanted to figure out where the Fios was going to come in at to their building. And so the best way to do that is determine where their current phone lines come in, and then that's generally where the Fios will come in at, and that's where they're going to drill a hole. And I was going through, and this client, they work out of a very large mansion. It actually used to be a governor's mansion. It's a historical building built in the 1800s. And so it's a mansion converted into an office. And they have this big garage out back. And it's an old garage. It's so old that it's a two-story garage, and the top of the garage, it meets with the front street level, and it has a turntable on the bottom of the garage floor because old cars didn't have reverse, and so they would pull in, and then people that were wealthy enough would have a garage floor that would rotate. And because this was the governor's mansion back in the 1800s, it could do this. They had the money to do that. So it also has a very small two-bedroom apartment, and I had been around in there because they kind of use it as storage now for old computer equipment and things like that. And I had noticed that there was a bedroom. The second bedroom was locked with a padlock, and no one knew what was in there. But I noticed that there was 4 phone boxes, and these were old phone boxes, so they each had 2 lines each, theoretically, a maximum of 2 lines. So there was 3 phone boxes, I'm sorry. So there was a potential of 6 phone lines going into this room that had a padlock that no one had been into for what everybody could tell, at least 8 years. No one had the key, and no one knew what was in there. So when we upgraded them to Fios, we discontinued their business-grade DSL, and this triggered some sort of old billing system that sent them a huge $8,000 bill for services. And we looked at the services listed, and it was like a T1 line and multiple phone lines, and I looked at this and I said, guys, these aren't services you've paid for. These aren't services you've used. And around the same time, they determined that they wanted to rent out this small apartment attached to this garage with the turntable, and so they busted the padlock to that room that no one had been into. And when they got in there, they found a small rack filled with 386s and 486s and 6 modems and a T1 box and a very old DSL modem, like the first DSL modems. And we started going through it, and this equipment was still running. For at least 8 years, these 386s and 486s and all of these old 28.8 modems and a couple of them were 33.6 modems have been running for 8 years continuously. Occasional power outages, they weren't on battery backups or anything like that. This whole little mini data center infrastructure was running out of this place off of all this old equipment, but nobody was using it. We tracked it down to who put it in there, and he hadn't been using the system for years. So it turned out that all of this stuff was just doodly running, doing its job, but nobody was using it. And it just boggles my mind that equipment like that could still be operational after all these years and nobody taking care of it. I got on one of them. When they found it, they cut the power because they were concerned about all the power usage after all these years. So all the systems wouldn't power on except for one. And when I fired it up, it was an old Unix box, and it was like a mail-in web server and whatnot. I mean, it's weird to come across something like this that feels like a part of history that you're sort of uncovering. It's like IT archaeology. Anyways, it's just such a bizarre story and so fascinating that I wanted to share with all of you because I don't know, I've never really come across like a hidden spot with equipment running like that, and I just thought, what a unique situation. And I'm sure some of you have probably come across something like that. I've heard of stories of old Novell servers being walled off and running for years and nobody knowing where it was at. And this was that. There was services and things running on there that nobody knew about, and then we discovered where it was at, and it's just crazy to me. So anyways, if you've ever had anything like that, I'd love to hear about it, because now I'm just fascinated. Leave a comment and share it with me. I'm curious to